Craig. That's good, Craig. Yeah. Y'all ever watched Friday? If you haven't, it's a wonderful movie series. I wouldn't watch it after or like past Friday 2. I think there's a third one. Might even be a fourth one at this point. Or no, Ice Cube wanted to make a fourth one, but it's okay. Just watch one. Two's okay too. But anyways, we are back. Well, just me tonight, I believe. The boys are off doing something, whatever they do, when they do things on their own, you know. But tonight, just want to hop on and do an episode. If you are a gamer, and mainly, I would maybe a little bit more of above a casual gamer, and you pay attention to the not the state of economy, but the industry as a whole for gaming. They have like conventions and showcases of some of the publishers and developers and stuff each year, and they show off new some of their new games, some updates, DLCs, expansions, something like that. And this past weekend, it was Jeff Keighley. He's been doing this, I think, for like past decade or something. But he started his own thing called Summer Game Fest, and essentially, halfway through the year, that's when kids are out of school and stuff like that. So he's got together with a bunch of developers and goes and sits down with them, and they essentially put in their input and trailers and updates that they're having with some of their games and stuff, and it sends it to him. He does like a live show. And so this past weekend, I wasn't able to watch the his live show on Friday, mainly because I was sick again. But I rewatched it, and I got an article that I will link in the description from IGN. Basically, everything that was announced. It was about a 2-hour show. It was definitely, this show is a lot faster paced than last year's. I think he nailed that part, but yeah, I'll be honest. He even said that for this show, not to expect big things because of how the industry is going. If you've also kept up with that, a lot of big companies like Square, Xbox, even they've had a lot of layoffs, and games are just becoming super expensive, and the economy is just not the greatest right now as a whole, and it's definitely affecting the gaming industry. So he addressed that, which is great to bring up at a show like this, as big as it is. Not to get into like politics or something like that, but just to address the industry. So he would just said before his show, he's like, set your expectations mildly. There's some good things coming, but there's not a lot of ones that are far out. It was mainly focused on this year's and like a lot of indie titles. So, it was good for him to be upfront about it. But overall, his showcase was, out of a scale of 1 to 10, I definitely is like on a 6, maybe 7. But, like I said, I didn't go into this with any big expectations of, like, oh, I'm looking really forward to some of the things. And it sucks a lot, honestly, that we have people out there who leak things. I'm definitely one who tries to avoid leaks, but at the same time, I want to know what's going to go just so I can set my expectations and be like getting ready for it and stuff. So there were some leaks, and I think most of them were right. I definitely want to, some of these game shows or game showcases and stuff, it's always cool to have to end on a big one. And he even said that there is no one last thing. And like we didn't get the God of War one like we did in what was it, 2016, I think it was. That was so epic to show that. And I understand, like he said, the industry's in a little downfall this year. Nothing 2023, it was an epic year for games. So, and just like any other economy, it's an ebb and flow thing. It's going to go up and down. So you can't expect every year, especially for video games, to be spectacular. So I'm not saying 2024 hasn't been, good so far, but maybe 2025, 2026, things will get turned around with the whole restructures and Microsoft, Xbox, and Square and stuff. So, but basically, I'm going to go through some of the games that was shown at both his on Friday, the Summer Showcase or Summer Game Fest, and then also the one that happened today, which was Xbox / Microsoft's showcase. And I will go ahead and say Xbox's showcase blew Jeff's out of the water. That's no shot at Jeff. He's an awesome host and everything. I look forward to watching Gamescom. Maybe he'll have a little bit more there, but Xbox's blew it out of the water. I know that there was a lot for Xbox that was like 2025, but some of them are like really neat. So we'll start with Jeff's Summer Game Fest, and like this whole thing is put on by Jeff Keighley, but you have it broken down. Like I said, Friday was his. He had a bunch of. It wasn't one specific. I don't think we saw a single like PlayStation one, because they had their State of Play a week ago. But then you had Xbox on Sunday, and then tomorrow, or whenever you listen to this, Monday, essentially the 10th, Ubisoft is going to have their own, where they're going to show off some of their games. So we'll start at the top of this. I'm not sure if this is in any particular order. So, if you want to rewatch it, by all means, go rewatch the showcase. It was still a good one. It had some funny bits in and stuff. So I think this one is correct. So they started off with Lego Horizon Adventures. This was a leak. A lot of people were kind of thinking it was going to be actually Horizon Zero Dawn remake for whatever reason, even though Horizon literally came out on the PS4 not even 10 years ago. I don't know why Sony continues to remake PS4 games. Like, please go back further. I love the Horizon series. I hope it ends with the third one whenever that comes, whether it be PS6 or at the end of PS5 cycle. I look forward to that. This one, it looks neat. I'm a huge Lego person, but I'm not sure if I would play this. So I'm sure it'll reach, a decent audience. Next up, we got Harry Potter's Quidditch Champions. This looks neat, but at the same time, I'm not sure why it needed its own game. It should have been in Hogwarts Legacy. That would have made that game even more spectacular, in my opinion. But it's neat for them to try and capture that. I understand that maybe video game companies and movie companies don't work hand in hand. It's just some of these are like missed opportunities. Harry Potter is something that, if you're my generation, we definitely grew up on. But it's died down for a while now. Like I can't remember the name of the a series. Not Unfortunate Events. Wow, Lemony Snicket's. What's the name of the? Oh, hold on. What's new Harry Potter movies? Fantastic Beasts. I think, yeah. Those they haven't hit anything where the Harry Potter series did. So, you kind of missed a mark on that. Just like, we'll talk about maybe a little bit, but like Fallout, they had this epic TV show. Even if it would have sucked, if they would have been able to announce like Fallout 5, I know 76, and that's one thing I'll talk about in a little bit, but if they would Fallout 5 at the same time it coming out, it was sold even more. I know 76 is popping off. Fallout 4, Fallout 3 is popping off because of the show, but still, if I think the movie companies and the gaming companies will work a little bit more together, they could sell a lot more for either or. So, next up we got No More Room in Hell 2. It's an early access game, arrives this Halloween. It's first person shooter zombie. I think I missed this one, but don't care too much about it. This one will mainly get talked about a little bit more tomorrow at Ubisoft's Forward, Star Wars Outlaws. It looks neat. I hope they don't screw over their players with what they're going to do with the Epic Edition or whatever it is. It's pretty cool. I may give this one a try, depending on if it's on Game Pass or something. So, look forward to that one. Civ 7. I've never cared for Civ, any Civilization games. It's Sid Meier makes them, which is odd because I like some of Sid Meier's. Did he make Roller Coaster Tycoon back in the day? I can't remember. I know his name, or know that developer's name, but like I said, I've never been a Civ fan. I think I tried it one time with Kiwi and never could really get into it. I'm a huge Age of Empires RTS type person. It just makes a little bit more sense. So, next up we got Dragon Ball Sparking Zero. It gets a release date of October this year. Looks fun. Yeah, I love DBZ. Grew up with that and Dragon Ball. Never really cared for the. I wouldn't say I never cared for it. I never tried the video games. They look super fun if you're into that whole universe and whatnot. So I'm sure it'll capture a great audience of Dragon Ball fans. Next up, we got Batman Arkham Shadow. It's a VR. That seems super scary, honestly, for a Batman game because of how, sneaking around and stuff you got to do. It's wonderful. However, it's VR game. Like, I could see this working. It's on the MetaQuest 3, so I think it'll work. But me personally would not be playing that. Street Fighter 6 is having a crossover with Fatal Fury. They're also bringing 4 new characters to their second season. Some fighters like Terry and Mai, and maybe M. Bison. Nice. Haven't played Street Fighter in years. I love Street Fighter. Street Fighter movie from back in the day with Jean-Claude Van Damme. Epic. It sucked, but if you want a cheesy movie like that, go watch it. And then this one, I think, was a pretty big one for a lot of people, was Blumhouse Games unveiled a bunch of games, actually. So they are the creators of Five Nights at Freddy's. And they showed off a few of their games. I think it's a newer studio, but they showed off a bunch of them, like back to back to back within one trailer. They all looked very neat, super simple horror games. I'm curious to see, maybe watch a streamer or two play them. I think they did say they are working on the next Five Nights at Freddy's, which a lot of people are super stoked for. So this next one, though, hit me hard, like nostalgia. A Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. Oh my god, it's a 90s style beat 'em up. Like, immediately I saw this and it was like TMNT, Turtles in Time. Epic looking, bro. I loved the Power Rangers back in the day. If this is on Game Pass, absolutely will be playing this. So, look forward to that. Next one, we've got Mecha Break. All I can say is Gundam. Like, it's just straight Gundam stuff. It's not called Gundam. It's just mechs, but looks fun. Not sure if I'll play it, but this next one is definitely out something I have on my radar. I know Kiwi does too. Maybe Jordan. Hopefully he'll get to play with us. But comes out in July. Actually, that was super surprising. Kiwi and I were wondering when this would come out, but it's called The First Ascendant. We actually ended up playing the last beta test for it about a week or two ago. It's a sci-fi looter shooter. It's kind of like it gives Outrider feel or Outrider vibes. Destiny obviously is not perfected it, but carried on it for nearly a decade. Their actual last expansion is out now, but it's a free to play. It really looks gorgeous. I hope it has enough content. I mean, it is free to play, so that's great. And I hope they don't put too much into microtransactions. And if they do, it's fine as long as you can get some path to the free version of it. It'll be great. And I think if we can, Kiwi, even if it's just Kiwi and I think it's cross-platform. Hopefully, maybe Aaron can hop in with us. But yeah, I think that'll just give us another cool game to play throughout this summer. So Alan Wake 2 came out, and it just came out, but Alan Wake 2, the developer came out, Sam Wake, and they're going to release a DLC, which is actually out today, or it came out the 8th, but whenever you listen to this, came out, and they talked about how they're going to release physical editions, because I think for Alan Wake 2, it was only digital. So they're coming out with physical editions, deluxes, and stuff like that. That's always neat for any collector out there. Never played Alan Wake. It definitely was in the running for Game of the Year last year. So obviously great things. So I'm sure a lot of people are looking forward to that. This next one, a lot of people got kind of upset about. Skate. This, I guess, is a franchise that has been dormant for a while. But they just did a teaser. It's going to be, it looks like they're trying to do like an open world, but I don't know why it was teased, because it's literally pre-alpha. So, like, it is super early stages. I wouldn't even say it's not even going to get released for another 3 to 4 years, if it ever does, if they stick with it and stuff. Depending on how EA, if they end up losing, people like Xbox and Square did. So, but I know a lot of people love this franchise, and they're going to look forward to it if they stick with it. So, next up, we got Valorant is actually coming to consoles. That I think was super surprising, because this is Riot Games' competitive shooter that it tries to compete with like CS:GO and stuff, but apparently it's coming to consoles, which is huge. That'll bring it to a different audience and stuff like that. So, never tried it. Don't really care for it. I don't, want to get shot one time and just be done and have to sit there and wait. So, next up, we got Among Us, an animated series. They're going to come up with their own TV series, which is great. I know that game popped off at the beginning of like COVID, because it essentially got resurrected by streamers and stuff like that, which is great when streamers do actually help the industry and find these little niche games and stuff. So they also, I think their developer is called Inner Sloth. However, they created a fund called Outer Sloth for how much money Among Us made during their whole run. Like, it's still going on, but it's definitely died down. However, they created a fund for indie developers called Outer Sloth, and they showed off a few of these independent developers. Like, it's mainly like 1 or 2 people that are creating these games, and it just showed off a few of what is going to fund them and stuff. So it was neat. Next up, we got Dune Awakening. It's an MMO in the Dune universe. I know they're trying to ride the wave of Dune 2 that released. Haven't watched it yet. I heard epic things about it. I will eventually watch it. However, it was just a story trailer. Nothing was shown combat-wise or the world or anything like that. So, and I think it releases maybe this year? Maybe? I'm not sure. But it should if they want to continue to ride the wave of Dune in Dune 2. So next up we got Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. I saw a lot of chatter on Twitter, X, whatever, when Jeff said the word Kingdom. A lot of people were hyped and thought he was going to say Kingdom Hearts. So a lot of disappointed fans when he said Kingdom Come Deliverance. However, at the same time, I know there's a big audience for this. It's like a medieval type thing. It looks super funny. It reminded me of Monty Python Holy Grail type vibes of how odd and funny it was. It looks good. It looks neat. It look more of like an actual movie ish combat than it did like in games and stuff. So next up we got Slitterhead. I think that it's not Slither, it's Slitterhead. It is it's from the Silent Hill creator. It's an action focused title with nightmare creatures from the Silent Hill series. Oh, nice. That's going to be creepy as hell. Never really cared for Silent Hill. I definitely, back in the day when I watched, I can't remember who played the first one. It was super creepy. Now I just think, I don't know if it fits the vibe of today's, but maybe this will find an audience. Next up, we got Delta Force Hawk Ops. Looks like a generic shooter of like modern day. I think it's actually based off of something. Oh my god, this next one is stupid. Killer Bean. It's an early access. It's literally a bean with Matrix style moves that shoots things. I don't even know. It just looks weird. Next one we got Wonder Stop. It's what they're calling a cozy game. Not my cup of tea whatsoever. Next we got New World Eternium. It's their newest. It's going to be their newest, I guess, update or expansion or something from Amazon. I know New World has definitely tried to compete with WoW and stuff. It's still going. However, I don't think it'll never catch WoW, but it's coming October 15th. If you're looking forward to that, just go give it a try. Next up, we got Palworld, their first real expansion. It's coming later actually in a couple weeks, but they're adding a new island, higher level cap, more pals, a new raid, subspecies of pals. It looks dope. This game, they continue to put content into it, and I think it's still technically early access and whatnot, but they've done such a great job with battling through the controversy and whatnot, with Nintendo and Pokemon and stuff. And I think they continue to prove people wrong with how they're doing things. So I'll probably check it out, maybe doing some AFK farming and stuff like that. This next one is definitely one of the bigger ones that people were anticipating. I think it got shown at State of Play, but Monster Hunter Wilds. It looks awesome. Monster Hunter series. I've only played Monster Hunter World, but this franchise has been going on for years. The eastern, side of the world, they definitely loved this when it came to West. I think it captivated a lot of people with Monster Hunter World and then Monster Hunter Rise. So hopefully with Wilds, they'll combine a lot of good things from World and Rise. But the good thing is it's going to be cross-play on all platforms. So depending on the timing and stuff next year, because it comes out next year, I will hopefully get to play this maybe a little bit with Kiwi, because we had so much fun playing World. So next up we got Kunitsu Gami, Path of the Goddess. It's just an action game. Looks like hold on, let me watch 1 second. I'll just play this trailer and maybe, because I may miss this one. I don't know. I don't necessarily remember watching it like on the recap. Looks neat. Oh yeah, this one got shown off. I think as State of Play, maybe half a year ago or something. Looks decent. It's another like Japanese samurai type thing. And then to end Jeff's summer showcase, which is Phantom Blade Zero. It's another samurai type thing, a game. I don't think it's Souls-like. The combat is super fast. And I think it's going to be a great game. They're doing like some kind of world tour where they're showing off the demo. I think it comes out the end of this year. But it definitely looked great. I want to give this a try. I don't know if it'll replace like Sekiro or anything like that. Maybe it'll be on the same page of like Ronin or Ghost of Tsushima. So, but yeah, that was basically Jeff's summer showcase that he did. Like I said, if you came into it with not too much expectations and stuff like that, I think it fit the mold of, like, you know, the gaming industry is in not a downward spiral or anything like that, but it's like leveled off, maybe tipped over a little bit. So there's definitely some good things going forward this year and even into next year and stuff. So we'll see about next year. And then we'll go on to the better showcase, I thought, which was Xboxes. Maybe next week I'll probably watch Ubisoft's, and then I'll just include it on next week's episode, since it's coming out tomorrow, which is Monday, and I won't probably have this episode out until like Tuesday or something. So we will start it off, and this one I 100% believe, this article at least that I have, is not in order whatsoever. So we will start from the top. This one, when I saw this, I was so excited. Like I said earlier, I am a huge Age of Empires fan. Have always been. Playing them, I've played Age of Empires 1 all the way up to 4. Well, wait, isn't there Age of Empires series? What are there? 2, 3, 4. Yeah, we're on 5. We're up to 4, but I love them. I love historical battles and whatnot. Some of the not characters, but some of the people, the heroes, whatever you want to call them, in those times, they're, you know, whether they did wrong, whatever, they were significant to history, and I just find them super interesting. And just the strategy of figuring out how to win those battles from a long time ago was great. They're great games. However, they have an actual one called Age of Mythology, which is, as talks about. It's battles through mythology. I think it is Greek. No, it's actually all mythologies because like Anubis is on here. I think Odin is too. So it's like a mix of Greek, Egyptian, and stuff like that. Apparently, and I've heard this one as a rumor and stuff. We're just gonna remaster or something, but Age of Mythology retold. It looks spectacular, and it is coming September 4th. Oh, on PC and console. That's awesome. I don't know if I would buy this, but if it is on Game Pass, 1000% downloading this. I loved back in the day the powers that you could get for some of the gods, and just like historical battles, I love mythology. Mainly only know a little bit about like Greek, definitely even less with Egyptian and stuff. So 100% look forward to Age of Mythology retold. Next one was in this article, this next one that I have is a huge one that a lot of people are looking forward to, and I think Xbox is kind of banking on this year, is Avowed. This is Obsidian's next game or like RPG. It looks great. I hope that they can carry through, and it'll be a big hit for Xbox in general. As much as Xbox quote unquote hater I am, I do love when they succeed because it also pushes PlayStation. And they do need right now kind of a push in certain aspects. So, Avowed, I hope you're good. If you're on Game Pass, depending on what time you come out, we'll 100% try to give you a try. Next on this article, and this had its own bit essentially after the Xbox showcase, Call of Duty Black Ops 6. Every single year, Call of Duty, it comes out, and it's the same thing. It's recycled of a Call of Duty fan. It comes out, you're hype, thinking, oh, this is awesome, Call of Duty's back. Goes a few months, and it dies off because they don't update as frequently. Just simple things like clearly all you have to do, and you're a big enough company, Activision. You'll never listen to this, so it's whatever. You're bigger than Epic, and I know Epic only has Fortnite is only one of their games. However, it is their biggest game, and yet they have the best. I wouldn't say the best. They are always updating Fortnite, whether it be good or bad. Events and everything, they do such a better job than any other game when it comes to updates. Like I said, there's definitely some bad ones out there. But if Call of Duty, as a franchise, mainly Activision, I'm sure it's not the developers and stuff, because they only give you some amount of time each year to produce these. If you just gave these Call of Duty games, just switch it every 2 years of a new one coming out, I promise. And you pumped in content and updates and everything like that, you would retain so many more players. But I know it's never going to happen, and I can't sit here and argue with that because of how much money they bring in on Call of Duty alone, just microtransactions alone. It's ridiculous. So, long story short, Black Ops 6 coming out October. It looks great. I love Black Ops. When I got back into Call of Duty, I started with Ghosts. And then there was one after that, I think. And then I really jumped in with Black Ops 3. If not, you can argue with older COD fans on zombies and stuff, but Black Ops 3 was, in my opinion, the best zombies and one of the best Call of Duties ever. Like I said, I didn't play the super early on ones. My first ever one was like World at War, but as a complete game, Black Ops 3, absolutely amazing. So they have something called omnidirection movement, where you can go anywhere, left, right, diagonal, and stuff like that, backwards too. It's going to be interesting. They always try to sell their game with one feature. They recycle everything and then have one feature saying it's the most advanced Call of Duty ever. Obviously it is, because you have new technology every year. Whatever. I do look forward to this, mainly because it will be on. They announced it will be on Game Pass. It has a broken down of how you can get this game on Game Pass. Like, there's certain tiers, but for the Game Pass that I will eventually get for this game, I will be able to have multiplayer, because I refuse to play or to pay $70 again for a Call of Duty. That is ridiculous, because you're paying $70 for the multiplayer. And I'm not in high school anymore. I don't want to just play multiplayer. I'll do it if I have to level up guns, which would be good because the Game Pass. However, it's why I've realm-based zombies for the first time in a few years, because they've been just pounding zombies and just making it diluted and shit. So I definitely look forward to this. When it comes out, if there's nothing huge, it'll probably be my like holiday type game. And hopefully Aaron and Jordan or probably Kiwi, but maybe Jordan will get it for Game Pass so we can go through zombies. I love zombies, round base and shit. So definitely looking forward to it. They didn't talk anything about Warzone, which is understandable because Call of Duty also has their own showcase, COD next in August. Rumors are Verdansk, the original Warzone map, is coming back. That's wonderful. I can't wait if it is true. Verdansk was some of the best COD times I ever had. I don't know if it'll hit the same, just because we were all different 4 years ago. Whether we thought the game was peak back then, it was not perfect. That's just, we're not locked up. We were in quarantine and stuff like that because of COVID. So it's not going to have the same feel. However, I think they can win people over with nostalgia. If you update the game, once again, you'll retain. So throwing that out there, Activision. Next up, this one, I actually did watch the Xbox show and I missed this one. This must have been because I started maybe a few minutes late. I guess this was one of the first ones. But Doom, The Dark Ages, is coming to Xbox and PS5. That's huge. Phil Spencer, he has talked about how he wants to put more of the Xbox games on PlayStation. I highly doubt PlayStation starts doing that because they love their exclusives and stuff. Which I get it. It's console wars and they want to sell more consoles. However, Xbox, the way they sell their consoles is because of Game Pass and PC and stuff like that. So it will never hurt for these games to come to multiple platforms. So that's great. The Doom's going to come. Doom's a wonderful franchise. I grew up with this. My dad loves this series. I'm not sure if he's a fan of these newer ones because of how fast paced they are, but I'll definitely tell him about this one. It looks awesome. I watched the trailer. Looks great. Definitely look forward to it. So next up, another one, a huge one for Xbox, is Fable. This one, a lot of people have been looking forward to for years. It looks great. I don't know the big hype or the story, the lore, or whatever around Fable. I just know it's a story franchise. It's coming out in 2025. This next one was definitely a rumor I'm glad it's it's coming back, but it's Gears of War E-Day. It is a prequel. I'm not sure which Gears it falls in line with, but this is a huge franchise for Xbox, and it's been dormant for several years. I'm glad that they are taking this game and bringing it back. Hopefully, they put a lot of love into it because I know a lot of Gears fans. I definitely played some of the earlier on Gears, but never really fell in love with the series, mainly because I didn't have an Xbox. Well, I had an Xbox 360, but never carried on. So hopefully this franchise, it gets revived and they continue to go on with it. Next up, we got new Indiana Jones and the Great Circle. I'm sure I would, if anyone ever listens to this podcast and is an Indiana Jones fan, I just, as a franchise, movies and stuff, I know Harrison Ford is a wonderful actor, one of the best of his generation. But he's had some of the most iconic roles in all of film. I've just never cared for Indiana Jones. I'll just go ahead and throw that out there. But I do like the mystery behind the stuff. However, I do feel like they're kind of all the same because clearly he's just searching for something. But this game looks neat, I guess you would say. But next we got Microsoft Flight Simulator. We don't have to talk about this. They fly. Next we got Perfect Dark. This is another franchise that I think is not getting resurrected, but it's been a while. It looks good. Never, it's a sci-fi, close quarter combat, gunplay, stealthy, secret agent experience. Apparently, I'm sure it'll be great. This next one is definitely a newer IP. It's called South of Midnight. It is, it looks intriguing. Let's just say that it's inspired by the Mississippi Delta, so that's cool. She looks. The main character's name is Hazel. She looks like she has some weird powers, which got that Mama Juju type stuff going on in the bayou section of the South. So it looks interesting. Comes out next year. So next up we got State of Decay 3. It's an open world zombie survival game. Looks great. Probably won't play it, but whatever. This one I know a lot of people looking forward to, but this is also Xbox's other, like Call of Duty, Assassin's Creed. It feels like they put one out every year to 2 years. It's also sticking with 16th century Japan. Looks good. I think you get to play as 2 different characters, so that'll be neat. Next, we got Atomfall. It is set in the British countryside of 1957. So, definitely World War II, a little bit after vibes, but also there's robots. So, I think Kiwi said this one gives him Atomic Heart vibes, but not Russian, clearly. This is more English stuff. Let's see. Ooh, this next one. Super interesting, I think. It is called Expedition 33. Or Claire Obscure Expedition 33. It actually is a turn-based game, but the combat is like a mix. Kiwi actually said it was Legend of Dragoon combat because you actually, depending on if you strike correctly or dodge or something, it changes. It's not just, okay, attack, Bobby over here. I do my attack. Oh, cast spell on Bobby over here. It's whatever. This one looks super interesting, and come to find out, Mr. Ben Starr, who voiced Clive Horsfield in Final Fantasy 16, is one of the main characters. He voices one of the main characters. 100% will look into this, and if it is a co-op, because there was like 3 people, maybe that's something I play with Kiwi. As much as he hates turn-based, it looks interesting. I don't think they set a date though for it. So next up, another big one, we got Dragon Age: The Veilguard. I played Dragon Age Inquisition. I never completed it whatsoever, but it's another BioWare game, and I know they've been trying to redeem themselves from like some Mass Effect stuff. And didn't they make freaking Anthem? Unfortunately, R.I.P. to Anthem. Could have had so much potential. I actually saw a random person streaming Anthem on TikTok the other day, and I'm like, my guy, this game is literally, they've shut off the servers. Stop, why are you wasting your time? But Dragon Age, I'm sure it'll be great. Next up, we got a Souls Light called Flintlock: The Siege of Dawn. Looks interesting. Could give it a try since it's a Souls. Next up we got Frag Punk. This one it's a 5v5 hero shooter, but it also has something with power-up cards. Like, I'm not sure how that's going to work, especially if you have to play them as you're like, are you going to play the cards and then somebody goes, I don't know. Looks interesting, but something probably won't play. Next up, we got Life is Strange: Double Exposure. Looks wonderful. Don't have much to say about it because, never played it. Never played the first one. Next up, we got Mecha Break. I think we've already talked about this from the Jeff show, but Gundam, essentially. Next one is another huge one. Metal Gear Solid Snake Eater. I believe this is the remake of Metal Gear Solid 3. Looks wonderful. I'll never understand, I guess, because I don't know coding, I don't know development or anything like that. Why, if they have a multiples of this game, sequels or whatever of a franchise, why they are starting in the middle? Because just like they did with Resident Evil, like they remade 2, remade 3, remade 4, and now they're going to go back and remake 1. Like, it isn't. I don't know. But apparently, Metal Gear Solid 3 is one of the best ones of the franchise. So a lot of people are looking forward to that. As am I. I wish the Metal Gear Solid trilogy, or not, the volume thing that they released worked properly. I definitely would go back and play it. So next up, we got Mixtape: Nothing But Hits, coming out 2025. It looks neat. The art is like I can't remember. It's like clay-ish. The character is like clay, but I guess it's doing something with some of the all-time music hits. I think it's more on the 80s side, because like Smashing Pumpkins, Iggy Pop, Banshees, they're all in here. I'm not sure what you exactly do, but if this is on Game Pass, I'm sure a lot of people will play this. I don't know if they would buy it outright. Looks neat. Next one is a pretty big one that a lot of people are waiting for. Stalker 2: Heart of Chernobyl. It's the developer from Ukraine. I know they've obviously been dealing with a lot of stuff with the war and whatnot, so I think they're finally going to get it out, get this game out. Looks neat. Next up, we got Winter Burrow. It's a cozy survival experience. You play as a mouse, it looks like. Not my type of game. Next, we got Wu Chang Fallen Feathers. Another like it's a Souls-like action RPG. Could be good. Samurai type thing. If it's anything like Sekiro, but maybe a little bit more deeper, I'm sure it'll be great. And then we got to the section of just new updates for the live games and stuff, for Xbox's live games. We got Diablo 4, unfortunately, talking about their newest expansion, I guess you would say. Comes October 8th. This trailer was one of the most disgusting trailers I've ever seen in my life. Obviously, if you know anything about Diablo, it's always been that way. So, but the trailer was awesome. Blizzard, hands down, they will never not do a great trailer. Their art team is fantastic. Everything else in that company could be failing, but their art team and their cinematic team will always do it justice, whatever game they put out. It looks awesome. Highly doubt I'll play it. I've tried to give Diablo 4 a try. I literally fall asleep at night when I play in it. Skipped every cutscene in my life. The game's not fun. Whatever. Moving on. Ooh, The Elder Scrolls Online gets a new trailer for whatever reason. What is this one on? Oh, I guess it's just like a free-to-play type situation. Another one, like I said earlier, Fallout. They been riding the wave of their TV series. Wonderful TV series, by the way. If you haven't had a chance to watch it, go watch it. It's great. Fallout 76 is going to have their a major expansion to the world. It's actually going to be a new place, I guess, in southern reaches of Appalachia, whatever, however you prefer to say it. It's Appalachia, or Appalachia. I talked to Kiwi about this. If we have nothing to do, we may jump back into Fallout 76. We started early access. Well, no, it wasn't never early access, but it was called the beta, and it just led straight into the game in 2018. We tried it out back then. It was Fallout 4, however, even more buggier, if you could imagine, than what Fallout 4 was. And it died off quickly for us, which is unfortunate because of how much I loved Fallout 4. But maybe we'll jump back into this. I know they've done a lot of great things, and since the TV series came out, it's put a lot of more players, back into that game. So I think they're going to continue to run with Fallout 76. So maybe look forward to that. Next up, we got Sea of Thieves. Sea of Thieves, these nuts. Season 13. Holy shit, that's a lot of seasons. Apparently you can become a villain. Sea of Thieves has always intrigued me, but I'm just never sure if I can jump into that. So I'm sure a lot of people will. Comes July 25th. Next up, we have Starfield: Shattered Space. It is also a update or DLC. I know they're still putting a lot of love into Starfield, and they want to. This was Todd Howard's like ultimate creation and vision that he wanted to carry out. So hopefully, it'll bring people back. I highly doubt I'll play it, which is unfortunate because I love, like I said, Fallout 4, and this is literally Fallout 4 but in space. But maybe it'll turn it around a little bit. Next, this one I was super intrigued by because I thought it was going to be something actually big, And why it was announced here, the only assumption is because Blizzard, Activision, whatever, are now owned by Microsoft. So they wanted to include them. Also, unfortunately, this year there will be no BlizzCon for whatever reason. But World of Warcraft, The War Within, is getting... it is actually the 10th expansion of WoW. And it's 20 years. Wow. Holy crap. But essentially, they just talked about the release date, which is coming a lot sooner than I anticipated. August 26th. And they're also scamming people. Not scamming, just like any other developer. And I'm sure we'll have someone on this team of podcasters that will buy it. You get early access, I'm pretty sure. Like 4 days early or something if you buy it or pre-order it. So, yeah. Way to go. Good job, Blizzard. Highly doubt I check it out unless it miraculously goes to Game Pass. That was the two things what I thought when I saw it, because they were running through each expansion. I thought it was leading up to talking about they were going to put WoW on Game Pass. 1,000% believe they should put it on Game Pass, because it is ridiculous that you have to pay each expansion, regardless if it's only $30 or whatever it is, and then you have to pay a monthly subscription of $15. That's stupid. Yeah. But yet, people, whatever. That one, A, was my first guess, and then B, this was like way left field. WoW coming to consoles. That's what I thought this trailer was, but obviously I was completely wrong on both of them. It was just the new expansion that's coming out in August. Hardware announcements. They're coming out with some new Xboxes. Who cares? But yeah, that was basically Xbox's full showcase. And like I said, that one I thought blew Jeff's out of the water. A lot of neat games for Xbox, Microsoft coming out this year, next year. A lot of them I actually look forward to. So, and then like I said, Ubisoft has their own showcase coming up tomorrow, but you probably won't listen to this until it's afterward, and I will probably do an episode next week talking about it. I don't know much besides other than Star Wars Outlaws that's going to be there, but maybe it'll be something neat. So, this will be a long episode. It's obviously all me talking, so I'm sure you're tired of hearing me, so I'm going to end it. Like I said, we're trying to get back into a little bit of rhythm. I'm not going to say consistency ever again because of just how it lays out with life and whatnot. It'll never be consistent. This podcast was not created to be consistent. It was created to talk amongst friends, and whenever they can join, whenever they can't join, and also for me to have like an outlet to talk about one thing I am super interested in, something that brings me happiness and my hobby and whatnot. So it's definitely been fun. It's a little stressful trying to put content out, so I understand content creators, their mind's just a little bit better now. So I definitely wanted to step back and just do this whenever I feel as I can and want to just talk about things in the gaming space as a whole. So, but like I said, whenever people can join me, by all means. If they can't, you'll just hear me talking, rambling, and not having good pronunciation, also being sick. So it's whatever. But for now, I'm going to go ahead and end it. Remember, we have some socials if you want to follow us, just to keep up to date with whenever a new episode does come out. I post them on X, Twitter, whatever you want to call it. I'll always call it Twitter. That's where you'll find all the episodes and our YouTube video links. but it's Believe Me Don't podcast, and the same goes for the YouTube if you just want to put it on and just watch the bar go up and down. Maybe one day we'll be able to stream some gameplay like live and record. If my computer can handle that, that'd be neat. So we can grow our platform in some fashion. I do have ideas in my head of if I can ever find enough time and, not be lazy in a sense of creating an Instagram, just so we can reach a little bit more audience. And it wouldn't be nothing special because we obviously don't video our episodes. I probably never will. We're all ugly. So, you don't want to see us. But at least if I put it on Instagram, a little bit more people can find us. And then I do want to do, if TikTok is still around in the next few months, way to go, government, maybe just do little clips of funny moments on the podcast episodes. But, it's a work in progress. Don't expect too much from us. This is literally just an extra thing that I try to do and we try to do as a group of friends and stuff. So, but always try to give us feedback if you are willing to, or just rant how bad it is. I don't really care. It's not going to hurt my feelings either way. But if you do interact with us, give us some sort of feedback, constructive or just literally shitting on us. It doesn't bother me. So, but thank you for listening. If you have listened to our previous episodes or this episode in particular, I'll put up a poll asking them maybe which one was better, Jeff's show or the Xbox show, or maybe even Ubisoft. Maybe I'll do a little prediction. I'm going to give it a 6 out of 10 for my prediction. Like I said, hopefully next week's episode I'll be able to talk about it. So, thank you for listening, and remember, you can continue to believe us if you don't. Peace.